All right, ladies, Bad Popp here. I got the red shirt on, and I got bad news. Because I've attacked every one of the feminist golden gooses, and I saved the best for last. And not to be confused with golden geeses. Gooses, geeses, whatever. If you don't like it, F off. So let's get ready for some offensive stuff. It's gonna piss a lot of people off. But hey, that's my MO, winning. And with that being said, don't forget to breathe normally. Let us begin. Mouth breather. Yeah. All right, we live in the technology age. Everyone has a smartphone. I want you to pull your smartphone out and Google abortion statistics. 2009, that was a real red letter year, if you know what I mean. There was a whole lot of windsocks being turned inside out to the tune of 1.06 million. Estimated numbers between 1973 and 2011, 53 million flushings conducted, plus or minus 5, depending upon which page and which stat you look at. Abortion. I know you guys are wondering,
Pop, what's driving these women to go do all of these flushings?
well, it really only boils down to 3 reasons. First reason is they didn't want it to hinder their career. Edit that out. 1/4 had it done because they can't afford to raise a child. I'm not passing judgment. In fact, I really don't care too much. But at least the women that do this realize they can't afford it and they try to avoid becoming a system surfer. Check out that episode because it's very expensive for us, not them. The remaining half cited problems with the man involved in the pregnancy. Well, I think that sounds like blame. The average cost for one of these flushing vacuum procedures? $451, or 2 Mossberg shotguns. Don't forget the sales tax, winning. No. 17 states fund the flushing procedure, which personally I don't think is right, but logically it is cheaper than one of these DNA duplicators running around out there. And I was able to find this magic number. 14% of these flushings were paid for with, you guessed it, federal tax dollars. I know you guys like,
Pop, you know what you're talking about? There's the Hyde Amendment, and it specifically states it'll block that.
yeah, okay. Yeah, just like divorce court's fair, friend of the court is your buddy, and yeah, the CPS doesn't take your kids away, yeah. How do these feminists do this? How do they circumvent all the laws and the Constitution? Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. 2 sets of magic words. One before the kid is born and one after. The one before is medically necessary, and after, best interest of the child. And you're f***ed. You'll hear the words medically necessary right after they get the prenatal test for, you guessed it, Down syndrome. And this particular test has an overwhelming amount of false positives. So let's just place the blame where it is. You ladies don't want to raise a special needs child. This is going to piss people off. If you go ahead and decide to drop this vaginal turd into the real world, you're going to drag his ass into front of the court and use these magic words to ruin his life. Best interest of the child. When I hear that, I hear, cut me a check.
My magic vagina, it's shedding money.
Now we're gonna go into the math portion, and you guys love the math. 2009, there were $363 million in federal grants given to these women's clinics. And we're not talking about just Planned Parenthood here. After the $363 million is $293 million in Medicaid funding, which also can be used for abortions in the case of rape, incest, or, you guessed it, medically necessary. There's that magic word again. On top of all that, we have this $70 million from this Fund X thing, which I really don't even know what it is. This is bullshit. You take all the federal money and you add it up, that's $726 million bucks. And what does that money go to? Birth control, and a lot of it. Look at all the options they got. This is stupid. And I'm guessing you didn't use them because that's why you wound up in the flush tank. Birth control methods that women can use, which they often don't, to trap a dude. First, we have the pill. And I don't know why a majority of women aren't on this. It's mostly effective if you use it regularly, which you probably don't because you don't want to gain weight. How much weight do you think you're going to gain with a kid in your belly? The IUD, which I refer to as the IED because it's blowing up the nation one uterus at a time. And when these ladies get on in age, it's just called ED because We just don't get it up anymore. And next we have the diaphragm, the female condom. I don't really condone this, but you can ask her to put on the diaphragm and then blow in it. The vag ring. I have never seen this myself other than in commercials. If you really like this model, remember, put a ring in it, not on it. Next, we have the depot injection. It's supposed to be good for 3 months. I've seen a lot of women get pregnant when they're on the depot shot, but that's just me. Okay, next you have the sponge, and then when you're done, you can clean up the toilet with it. Who lives in the vagina under the sea? SpongeBob! I can't even do it. That's horrible. You have just straight up spermicide, tends to cause burning issues. And they also put a lot of this stuff in your prophylactics. And I'd rather have it burn while you're doing than burn after. The tube tie, which is kind of like a sexual rodeo with a pretzel knot at the end. But in my opinion, should be mandatory until you're able to take care of kids and support them on your own. This is also good for dudes, though it's not quite as reversible, but there's already way too many of us hairless monkeys, let alone having surprise hairless monkeys show up. You tie your tubes or you get a vasectomy and guess what? You're out of baby jail. Winning. There's the adoption option. Now, I do not know if they can put a kid up for adoption without the father's consent, though I'm pretty sure it happens all the time. After adoption, we have straight up abandonment, which you can do without any repercussions. The safe haven law basically proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is no war on women in this country. Because guess what? If you were a dude and you tried to do that, you're going right to jail. In fact, you're going underneath the jail. Us dudes, we don't have any reproductive rights at all. Period. Unless you kick her in the box. This is easy. I'm gonna do the dude one right here. Condom, no condom, vasectomy, abstain, just don't even do it, or kick her in the box. Winning. Dudes, that was just a joke. You know, I'm not saying you should donkey punch or slat C or anything, but I certainly understand. Women have all of these options up to and including killing the kid, and dudes basically got nothing. There is no war on women. This is bullshit. You know it. I know it. All we have to do is admit it. Because guess what, gentlemen? You only have 2 choices once you score. Pay for the child or go to jail. Men have responsibility, and women, they have options. As a woman, you can abort the child, abandon it, or put it up for adoption, all without the consent of the father. And you suffer no repercussions whatsoever, either legally or financially. As a dude, and you guys know this, you are not allowed at all to sign away your parental rights. So when you really put this on the scale, the rights of the women and the rights of the dude, it really looks like it's a war against dudes. And all of this, all the stuff on these 2 boards, where does it come from? It comes from liberal tards. So at one hand, they say it's their body and they can do whatever they want. And then on the other hand, they say they want the government to pay for it. You would be absolutely correct. It is your body and you can do whatever you want with it.
It's my body and I can do what I want with it.
But that doesn't mean I have to pay for it or fund it through my actions or taxes. And taking away money from Planned Parenthood is not a war on women. We're not saying that you can't have an abortion. All we're really saying is we shouldn't have to pay for it. It's called the encouragement of personal responsibility and accountability for your own goddamn actions. So do me this small favor. Why don't you stick that in your blowhole and smoke it? Winning? No. While these feminists are killing 53 million people, they're bitching about gun rights. Well, guess what? If they don't have a problem flushing 53 million people down the toilet, it only really took 6 million Jews to kick off what's known as the Holocaust. I'm just saying. You have no right to tell me I can't carry a gun. Over here I have 1 million abortions, and here I have 9,000 deaths by guns. Is there really any measurement here or proportion? Birth control, use it, yeah, it really works. Now listen, I'm not gonna take abortion off the table. Sometimes it's necessary. We as a species, we're wretched, vile, hairless monkeys. And sometimes we do horrible shit to each other that, hey, you gotta take care of it one way or another. If you're a woman and you're a victim of incest or rape, you should not have to live with a reminder of that scar or that victimhood for the rest of your life. With the state of the economy and how many people we have and how many hairless monkeys are on the earth already, we need some Planned Parenthood. They do a lot more than just suck out babies and give out condoms. But abortion as a form of birth control is evil and fucking vile. Edit that out. But if you use Planned Parenthood properly, you don't need to get there. Quit your bitching about how much weight you're gonna gain if you go on birth control, or just go get your tubes tied. You college girls out there, you wanna run around and be a slur and fail the dick stacking test? That's your business. But we should not have to, one, write a check against it, or pay for your bad decisions. And with that being said, I'm gonna pull my pants up because I'm done shitting all over your last golden goose of feminism. Hey ladies, while you're watching this and you're totally infuriated with me, check out the Patreon and PayPal links below and throw us a little loot so I can keep bugging you. And while we're at it, please hit the subscribe button, because if you do, I won't put the ring on you, but I'll put the ring in you. I'm getting in the car. I go to pick up my kids from the Hoover's house, right? And I get in there, and one of them calls the other one a biatcha. Yeah. And I'm like, what are you doing calling your sister a biatcha? I know what that is. She goes, no, Dad. No, that's the sister to the Japanese sword maker, Shizata. Edit that out. And I'm like, all right, that was really good. I'm gonna let that one by. I mean, that was great. That was like a 10 out of 10. That's a good pull off right there.